So, if we're thinking about kind of people's internal dialogue or asking internal questions, we have a question here from a coach that's asking, my client seems incapable of saying no. How can I help them give themselves permission to say no?
I feel like my coaching style is so abrupt and just like giving them the assignment to say no to everything for a week. And I would probably pitch that idea to them, say, okay, great. So let's do it. Let's say no to everything for a week and see what happens. And then usually in real time, the client will have some sort of low grade anxiety, like we'll call it low grade feelings of, there's no way I could ever do that. Or my world will fall apart. This is not, there's no way. But then you go back to the idea of if a coach is attached to the idea that I need to get my client to say no, the coach is falling into two different traps. First is being attached to your client taking a specific action. And that means that a lot of the questions then are going to start having the energy of trying to lead someone to a certain action step. And I've listened to a lot of coaching like that. I used to do a lot of coaching like that when I was a beginning coach. It's not good. And that leads to the second thing is that in that instance, a coach is solution hunting. They're not insight hunting. And so when in my if I were coaching this person and I would say, hey, so for this next week, like say no, your assignment is to say no to every single thing. I'm not attached to my client doing that. It's not like I'm saying do this for real. What I'm really after is I am looking for some sort of real time reaction on that coaching call so that my client can gain an insight into why do they do that?
Yeah.
What's there? What's behind your saying yes to everything? And in this space, let's explore it. So my technique would be to ratchet up the the context so that we can have it gives better opportunity for insight to occur. That's how I'd approach it on a tactical level in a coaching session.
Yeah.
And why?
Yeah, because there's lots of curiosity around that, isn't there? I'm curious about,
Yeah.
well, when they say no, what would they be? No, what do they say yes to? And also the motivation. Is it intrinsic or is it extrinsic? Does this connect? Are they a helper? I don't know. I'm just so curious about. I work with so many helpers, being one myself. You know, what is driving that? Where is it coming from? As you said.
What tends to happen is a lot of these, we'll call them maladjustments, or I mean, that's maybe too psychology. I mean, that would be the word, the psychology. I mean, I've been reading a lot of studies lately, a lot of papers. The well, maybe a more coachy word would be incongruencies. Like there's an incongruency between my value set, my action set, and follow through sets, right? So if there's inconsistencies between those, it usually comes down to a feeling of worth. Like, how do I find worth for myself? Or like, am I worthy?
Yeah.
Or to what degree am I worthy? And that idea, oh, talk about internal space. Woo! To be comfortable here. To be comfortable here, but not from a standpoint of I'm not going to diagnose it. I'm not going to judge it. I'm not going to tell you what you need to do or the action steps or say, hey, this is how, I mean, this is, this is where I think that therapy is really valuable because therapy can go here and the therapist has a lot of training to, recognize patterns, okay, yeah, this is, these are the different degrees of health. And, that's what therapists can do. That's useful. That's useful to in coaching. It's useful to do in conjunction with coaching because a coaching perspective in that space is very much okay. Client, we're here. We're exploring it. We're curious about it. Now I'm going to empower you. What do you want to do, even with the space of am I worthy? How can we embrace even this question, this internal question? That can change your life. And in coaches, we get to see that in real time. We get to be on the front row seat of that. Every day, every coaching session, we're on the front row seat of that operating under the surface, whether we know it or not. It's operating, and that's why I love this profession. Love this kind of listening and this deep connection with other people. It's astounding. It really, truly is.
Thank you, John. I know we're almost at time, and it seems like we've looped back round from am I worthy to that kind of self-love piece here.